greatest adventure is what lies ahead. Today and tomorrow are yet to be said.
Hello everyone, no one of consequence here, back again with a new video. This is episode 38 in a series which recounts my ongoing Dungeons & Dragons campaign, which is now in its 9th year. If you enjoy the video, please remember to hit the like button at the end. So as always, spoiler alert, in this video I will be revealing details in this adventure module. And also as a reminder, this is the current composition of the adventuring party. So where we left off last time, the characters had just defeated a room in the Frost Giant lair, but which housed fire giants. And going across that room, they found a cave entrance which led outside, overlooking the rift. But it was an isolated ledge on the outside. They could not go anywhere from this point. So they went back inside, found another tunnel, and found another part of the ledge, and were able to access a different area. So they explored some more from the outside, and they found another ice cave entrance, and looking down through it, the characters were able to see a group of hill giants milling about. So what they did, instead of just rushing in immediately and engaging in melee, they first had Thorol cast a fireball down the passageway and into the room. And although the fireball did not kill any of the hill giants outright, they quickly followed up by charging in and were able to finish off the hill giants that were located in there. So next, continuing on, they found another chamber which contained a group of stone giants. And this time, since it was a short distance, they did just rush in. The goal, as always now, is to engage giants in melee so they don't have any time to throw rocks at the characters. Oberak, being slower, did not arrive until the next round. Unfortunately, instead of hitting his target, he rolled a fumble and fell to the ground. And meanwhile, Varus cast a floating disc spell, and I had mentioned about the modifications I had made to that spell in the past, where it's just kind of an inside joke, but the floating disc is a sentient and it has a personality, which I created a random table for, and in this case, Varus rolled Arnold Schwarzenegger, so of course the disc immediately started saying things like, get to the chopper, and so forth. So, anyway, inside joke for our group. So, after a battle, seeing there was only one stone giant remaining, and rolling for a morale check, the last stone giant saw the situation as hopeless, and he ended up surrendering to the characters. And they actually spared him and told him he could leave, but they escorted the stone giant to the entrance of the rift and made sure he actually left so that he didn't instead try to warn any of the frost giants to the character's presence. So, scouting further ahead along the west side of the rift, they found a new complex of tunnels. So, Thorol cast an invisibility spell on the thief Garrett, so he could explore it, hopefully undetected. And this is just one screenshot showing Garrett sneaking around, but the area is actually much larger than this, and he counted about 20 frost giants that were located in this multiple chamber area. So Garrett went back to the rest of the characters and reported what he had found so they could make some kind of plan on how to deal with so many frost giants. So what they ended up doing, Garrett used a Halloween holiday item that he had, and he was still invisible at this point, but he started placing these pumpkin seeds that he had received for the Halloween event, and he strategically placed them around, and it's kind of obvious here in this picture, but he was trying to be more stealthy about it. But this is the item description that I'm talking about, and the arrow points out the option that he was using to place these pumpkins on the ground. And this just shows another screenshot of the invisible Garrett deploying another pumpkin. And so when everything was ready, Garrett detonated the jack-o'-lanterns that he had placed inside, which resulted in multiple explosions. And of course that caused a confusion amongst the giants who were inside. And there was one right near the entrance, and so Varys ran over and lured the nearest frost giant to the entrance. And since that giant was already wounded by the exploding pumpkins, the party was able to quickly finish him off. And another thing that Varys did while Garrett was inside placing those pumpkins is he cast a hallucinatory terrain spell just to the south, where I'm pointing out with that arrow on the ledge. And the reason he did that, there was another ice cave entrance south of where they're located, and so he created an illusion of an avalanche blocking that ledge to try to, in case anything came out of that cave entrance to the south, they would see the avalanche, and hopefully it would fool them into thinking that they couldn't come this way. So, as I mentioned a minute ago, that frost giant that was at the entrance was taken out, and the other frost giant, seeing what happened to him, turned and ran back deeper into the caverns. And so here you see Obrak and Varys following in pursuit. And the giants who went to the north stopped and turned around and started throwing rocks at the characters. And Thorol, at this point, had a wand of lightning bolts, and so he shot a lightning bolt up that northern passageway at those frost giants. But there was another entrance to the immediate west, or another cavern in that direction, and another frost giant appeared from around that corner and started throwing rocks as well. And then meanwhile, back outside on that ledge, some frost giants did in fact come out that entrance to the south, intending to flank the characters. And they were delayed for a couple of rounds by Varys' hallucinatory terrain spell, but when they started trying to dig through it or throw the blocks of ice out of the way, that it dispelled the illusion, and they realized that there was nothing blocking their path. So there you can see those frost giants. So Varys started moving to the south to confront that threat, and Obrak and Gorbadoc, the halfling, started to follow, but then Niobe, the party cleric, shouted that she was preparing to cast a spell and that everyone should instead stay back. And meanwhile, Aramis, the fighter, ran into the cave entrance to shield Thorol from that frost giant that was right there near the entrance. So while Aramis was fighting that frost giant, Thorol shot another lightning bolt along that passageway to the north. Back outside, Varys, and of course his floating disc following him, ignored Niob's warning, and he instead closed with the Frost Giants, but Obrak and Gorbadoc did stay back. So, just as another Frost Giant appeared, Niobe cast a Blade Barrier spell, and two of the Frost Giants were immediately essentially vaporized by the Blade Barrier spell, and the third, who was caught in it, was mortally wounded. So there was only one Frost Giant, and Varys himself on the far end of the Blade Barrier spell. So Varys moved to engage that Frost Giant. Meanwhile, while Varys was still outside, the rest of the party ran inside to help Aramis and Thorol with those Frost Giants in there. Obrak ran to the north to engage those Frost Giants in melee combat because they were throwing rocks. And while he was moving in that direction, he also deployed a Christmas gift item that he had received that you can see the description there, that snowman, to help absorb damage that Obrak would have otherwise taken. And then meanwhile, in the other corridor to the southwest, the party could see some Frost Giants moving in, so Thorol cast a fireball spell down in that direction. In this screenshot, Gorbadoc, who he had a crossbow, and he fired it and rolled a critical hit, and you can see the 20 that he rolled and then the result that he got for that. So that was a big help for the party. And in the very same round, Garrett the thief had a longbow which he fired, and he also rolled a critical hit, and then you can see the result pointed out there as well. And then also this round, Thorol cast a haste spell on the party, so they were all now moving at double speed in actions. So using the extra speed conferred by the haste spell, Thorol began throwing oil flasks in the area, and they would break when they hit the ground and spread a pool of oil. And then soon thereafter, Varys, using his extra speed, began lighting the pools of oil with the flame sword that he was carrying. And so between the fire and the characters continuing to fight, they soon were able to defeat the last of these Frost Giants. So by now it was getting late at night in game time, and the characters were exhausted and wounded, and all of their spells were spent. So they returned to their hideout cave to rest and recover the rest of the night. Alright, well that's all I have for now. Again, thanks for watching. Please remember to hit the like button. If you haven't, consider subscribing. Leave a comment, let me know what you think. And if you can, share the video. Anything you can do to help support the channel, I appreciate it. Thanks again. Bye for now.
The greatest adventure is what